A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, welcome to Tull Tales Part 3. In this episode, we're going to look at Jethro Tull's 1969 hit, Living in the Past, and in particular, a fantastic bass line from the brilliant Glenn Cornick. Let's do it. Living in the Past. Now, I can't actually show you the album this came from at the time because there wasn't one. I mean, during this time, Tull, very, very prolific band, and as well as great albums, also released a number of singles and EPs. So there's a lot of really good material. Now, the problem as a record buyer and fan at the time was that if you happened to miss one, then you couldn't go into a record shop 3 months later and say, oh, can I have Sweet Dream by Jethro Tull, please, because they wouldn't have it. It was gone. So it was a real problem. So we were very glad when this came out in 1972. The album, Living in the Past, cleverly named, of course, a retrospective of the great singles, EPs, things like Witch's Promise and Life is a Long Song, plus EP tracks, double album, with, of course, the great Living in the Past on it. Now, it's worth recapping that Living in the Past was a track written by Ian Anderson in response to a request from manager Terry Ellis while they were on, I think, a 3-month US tour to, as Terry put it, keep the pot boiling until the next album, Stand Up, came out. Seems weird now, the idea that within 3 months you would be potentially forgotten, but that's how it was. I remember when, like, the Beatles, after 3-4 years of Beatlemania, actually dared to take a break summer 66 after Revolver for probably 3 or 4 months. And by early 67, people were asking in the press, are the Beatles finished? Which is the reason why they put out Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields, which are a single, A-side single, rather than being a sort of integral part of what became the Sgt. Pepper concept, which didn't come up a few months later. So people, fast turnaround, lots of good material, very short memories at that time. So it was important that the band did come up with something, which is what Ian Anderson and the band did. Okay, slight problem was that I think for Ian Anderson at the time, being told write a hit single was absolute anathema. It was against everything that he stood for. So he proceeded to come up with something as willfully non-commercial as he possibly could. This is partly the lyric, which obviously expressed his views about sort of some of the hippie movements. Now there's revolution, but they don't know what they're fighting, for example, which was very much against the spirit of the times. And musically, he put it in 5/4. 5/4, 5 beats to the bar rather than the normal 4 or occasional 3 in popular music. I'm working on a video which will be posted shortly on this channel, Steve Marshall Bass, called 5/4, A Brief History, where I have a look at where this time signature has been used in popular music, very rarely as it happens. But for now, here we are with a song in 5/4, which, contrary to everyone's expectations, was a huge hit. Number 3 in the UK, Tull's biggest single, and a hit in the States when it was, I think, finally released as a single to coincide with this this retrospective. So what made it such a hit? How did it catch on with people? Number of things. It's full of hooks. You've got that, obviously the scat line, which is in many ways in lieu of a chorus, which was very distinctive and sort of quite a new sound that we hadn't really heard that much in music up until that. The scat flute, so that you got that running through 3 or 4 times during the course of the piece. Good melody, nice accessible lyrics. Happy and I'm smiling. All flows well, but obviously as a bass player, but in my mind, above all, you've got that incredible bass line from Glenn Cornick running through it. Let's run the track, play the bass, and then we'll break off at certain points and just see what's going on, because there's some really good stuff. Just start by looking at that figure, that opening figure. It's actually the first thing you hear, first two bars of the song. I mean, already bass playing at the highest order of creativity. It's a song basically revolves around sort of the four chords. Easiest thing in the world would have been to play those as well. Just play the root notes. That's what the guitar's playing, and that's what the how the vocal goes as well. Happy and I'm smiling. So if you've got all three playing the same thing, boring song, no hit. Okay, I think it's as fundamental as that. So what does he come up with? Something really completely off the wall, really non-instinctive, almost like a song within a song. Such a good hook, in fact, that it's the first thing you hear, first two bars of the song. Okay, done entirely without precedent. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, there's never been another hit single in 5/4 after Living in the Past, but there had been one before, about 10 years previously, Take 5 by the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Tremendous, probably the primeval 5/4 track, if you like. And what's happening in that song is that the bass is playing. But the piano is going. So a persistent counter figure, if you like. So I don't know whether Glenn was influenced by that, but musically it works in exactly the same way, in that rather than everyone following the route, you've got something different going on, different layers, tremendous aspect to the song, great writing, 5/4 masterclass, as I call it. But there's more. As the track goes on, we've got more amazing bass figures. Let's have a listen. So here, over what is he playing in the verse? So something else, something different. Again, another variation will be as the verse continues. Back to this. Great stuff all the way through. Then he saves the best for last on the play out. So, Glenn Cornick, master bass player, masterclass in being musical in 5/4 time. Brilliant. A great track. Okay, that's it. Please hit subscribe on the channel, and the next video, work in progress, will be coming shortly, which is just called 5/4, A Brief History, where I dig down the sort of rabbit hole of this fascinating time signature in terms of how it's been used in popular music over the years. So look forward to seeing you then. Cheers.